Hey, Spaz. Spaz. Spaz.
Yes.
Haha, I muted you, but hey,
Oh,
at least
you
you showed
dirty
up for
rat.
your own show today.
Hey, I
Killing
made
it
it
over
last
there.
night.
Now, finally. We got a bowl game to go to, a playoff game. Come on.
Semifinals. Let's go.
Roll that intro.
Hey, everybody.
Hi. I felt like I was just here last night for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, I was.
Well, I was only there for an hour and a half.
Welcome in, everyone, though. Welcome into the another preview show for the Peach Bowl as the rematch is underway between Oregon and Indiana. Thank you for being here at a different time, but hey, we got to take our time opportunity slots when we can, right?
That is correct.
And
49 hours away.
that's long. That's a long. It's too long, but not far enough away. Yeah, I don't. Friday night game. Friday night game. Friday night game. Everyone, please though consider hitting that like and subscribe if you haven't. Appreciate you all being here. But we have a very special guest tonight. One of our other Oregon podcasters basically commented of buckle up, and I think he's already realized why. Welcome in from not just on back home network on YouTube, but the Crimson Cast on X. Their links are in the description of this video. Welcome in the doc.
How we doing, guys?
What's going on, man?
Good to be here. Just getting ready for this game. Getting ready to drive down to Atlanta from Bloomington. Doing that tomorrow morning. A little 8-hour drive. But you know what? I drove from Bloomington to Pasadena and back last week for the Rose Bowl. So you know what? Driving to Atlanta is like just nothing at all at this point.
And the next time you might have to drive to Miami.
I think I'm going to fly that one, actually.
I was like, that's an extra like 10 hours or something like that. If
I used to teach at the U long ago.
Oh.
And so I have driven from Bloomington to Miami before, and I don't really want to do it again. So,
yeah, driving through all of Florida, yeah, that would be a long drive.
Yeah, I drove from Central Texas to Orlando straight, and that was like 22 hours or something like that. And then I was like, well, while I'm here, let me go to Miami. I looked it up. It was like 5.5, 6 more hours. I was like, nope, never mind.
Yeah, we were talking about that on a live stream coming back. People complain about driving through Kansas or driving through Nebraska. I was like, you ever driven through the entirety of Florida? It's its own problem. Now, I will say, if Indiana makes the Natty and that's the only way to get there, hell yes, I'm driving through Florida to get there. But I think we got some other transportation options at our disposal, you know?
In all fairness, people complain about driving through Kansas and stuff. I understand. I've driven through Kansas too. It's literally a straight road and just flat. There's nothing there the entire straight shot through. It's one of the worst, just most boring drive. I lived in North Dakota. I drove through South Dakota too. It's the same thing. There's nothing there.
The Plain States can be rough at times, yes.
Yeah, I caught part of you guys drive back. And it was quite entertaining listening to you guys drive down the road and just for miles and miles and just rolling through all the different states.
It was fun. It was very Hunter S. Thompson. You know, like let's load up the car and go to the Rose Bowl. We needed some romanticism about, like, who wants to sit in an airport when you could, you know, hang out at a Sonic somewhere in Albuquerque on the way to the Rose Bowl.
Right? How long did it take you guys? Like 2 days, 3 days?
2 days each way, which was a lot. I mean, fortunately, I've done long drives before, and then the guy I was doing the drive with once drove from Indiana to the Arctic Ocean, like for fun. And back. So we were overqualified for what we needed to do. But yeah, it was about 15 hours a day. We just traded off, and it was nice. I saw the country again, which was great.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree. I like driving now. If it's like 20 hours and I can fly for the same amount of money, I'll fly. But if it's like a 6-hour drive, you spend just as much time in the airport for that flight. You might as well just drive.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's kind of my rule of travel. I'm not going to any of these games because I am a broke son of a bitch, and I just don't want to endure the pain in person when or if we lose. I just don't want to deal with it in person. I'd rather rage quit over here in the comfort of my home.
I've been in the same boat, man. I know exactly what you mean. I feel like I've become, if there's a football version of a Grateful Dead fan, I feel like I've become that with IU football. I've been to every game in the Signetti area in person except one. And so I'm trying to, I need to, like, I don't know, buy like a microbus or something and just like fully convert over at this point.
Oh, so you need that really first painful in-person experience of like, why?
Well, I'm an IU football fan, man. I've had 1,000 of those already.
Okay, fair point.
Yeah.
No one can hurt me any more than I've already been hurt. So yeah, we know what it's like. It's been an adaptation.
Well, you didn't hear me screaming from my living room where my ex came out at like 1 a.m. and told me shut the fuck up because I was screaming at the TV when we lost to Auburn in the national title.
I mean, it's funny. The losses in college football, they hit in the worst possible way, more so than on any other sport, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rough. And this type of game is one of those that could be just as painful both ways because these are two teams that are rematching, but this time it's elimination, and both teams are fighting for the potential to go on to win their first national title.
Yeah.
Big Ten's winner last year, Big Ten's winner this year, going and rematch again.
Yeah, and the Big Ten won the year before. I mean, it could be 3 in a row. And look, I think these are the two best teams in the country. I think, you look at the power ratings. Oregon's either second or third in every power rating. Indiana's first in every power rating. I think they've got insane amounts of talent, and they're probably the two best coach teams in the country. And it was a great matchup when they played earlier this season. But like you said, this one's for all the marbles. Like whoever loses this is going home and has what looked like it was going to be like the ultimate special season ruined. So yeah, it's got a lot of potential, man. I mean, I think both of these fan bases have been really spoiled with how well their teams have played this year. And I'm really interested to see how they play matching up this second time because, a lot's changed for both teams since early October.
I agree with that 100%. Both teams have. I was watching that presser, and both Signetti and Lanning were saying, "Hey, each team is very different than they were then. Both teams have changed things. This time, also, you have the experience of playing each other the first time, so now you have a little bit more expectation of what to expect in a way." I did like how you just said it was like a cute story for Ole Miss and Miami. You're like, nah. These are the best teams no matter what. Miami, yeah, Ole Miss, you play your game on Thursday. Whatever. Who cares?
I have great respect for both teams. And like I said, I taught at the U, so I have a bit of an affinity for them. But
Mario Cristobal could suck it.
There you go. See, and look, ultimately, these teams are just better on paper than Miami and Ole Miss are. So I wish this was the national title game. I think it deserves to be. I wish this had been the Big Ten title game. As much as it was great beating Ohio State, I would have loved to have matched up against Oregon in the Big Ten title game.
I like how you got to match Ohio State because then everyone went, oh, okay. You took out Oregon and Ohio State. Like, oh, okay. I think that worked out perfectly for Indiana, to be honest.
It did. I look, Indiana has not gotten a ton of respect, even while winning a lot of games. And I get why, because it doesn't make sense for people to look at Indiana and say, oh, they're real good because of the branding. But the flip side of it is Indiana has proven against Illinois, against Iowa, against Oregon, against Ohio State, now against Alabama. I think after a while you stop doubting them. So yeah, you're probably right. Beating Oregon twice would probably have damaged both of our reputations. So it's good that we wait for the rematch until we get to the playoff.
Well, in all fairness, as soon as once Indiana beat, I mean, of course, we always pick Oregon. We could do a little score prediction of this later. We did it last night a little bit at the end, but once Indiana did beat Oregon in the regular season, I went, "Oh, okay, yeah, no, they're not messing around. They're really good." I watched that game. I was like, "Yikes, yikes!" You know, I mean, so anyone that doubted Indiana had to be out of their minds at that point.
It happens, and it's just the weird way that college football works, man. I look. I'm sure Oregon was dealing with this 25 years ago when they were.
Oh, we still deal with it. As soon as we lost to you, everyone was like this. Yeah. Oregon's garbage.
Right. Well, it's such a hater mentality in college football punditry. I think that was probably the most fun thing, taking the team stuff out of it. Just watching everybody have to come to terms in the national media with the idea that the SEC probably wasn't all that. Between Georgia losing to Ole Miss and then Alabama getting blown out by Indiana in the Rose Bowl. And it's just, they cannot get it through their heads that there is talent and coaching outside of the SEC. And it's been that way for a few years now.
Amazing. Iowa beating Vanderbilt. Oh, that was delicious. Yeah. That was just that. I mean, that's just embarrassing if you're Vanderbilt.
It's
no offense, Iowa, but that's embarrassing for Vanderbilt.
It's what Iowa does. Is you guys had the same game we had against them at Kinnick. It's a tough team to play, but the SEC mind can't comprehend that Iowa might be even in the same ballpark as them. And it's like, Iowa would probably go 9-3 in the SEC every year the way they play because they don't turn the ball over.
Iowa lost by a total of 7 points to Oregon and Indiana. Yeah. They're good.
Yeah.
Iowa's good. They're solid defense. Their offense needs to work, but they're really good defensively. Just like Texas Tech was really good, and I give them all the props. Ignore Adam in the chat here. He is the Rutgers
Adam, you're going to get
host.
timed out, sir.
So, yeah, he's the Rutgers. Well, no, if you do it, though, you'll ban him accidentally again. Do not touch buttons. Do not touch buttons fast.
Yeah, I'm seeing now he's accusing me of not being a doctor. I do have the diploma. I can prove it. It's fine. I mean, I'm not. Interesting. This is a good comment section. I need to keep this going. So
yeah.
Adam's the host of the Rutgers channel on the Voice of College Football Network. So he's he will always talk crap about, and he's a USC alum.
If he's the Rutgers host, he's suffered enough. Is what?
Yeah.
He's suffered. I'd almost say almost equally as Indiana did. Yeah. In a way.
Except Rutgers still hasn't made it remotely close to a playoff, whereas Indiana's made it 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
So they're losing their losing mentality and style is far gone, whereas Rutgers is still there in the middle of mediocrity.
Poor Rutgers. I still can't get this in my head. And this is, I know Indiana, you guys have been in the Big Ten. I still can't get being in the Big Ten in my head. I saw the update the other day for Oregon at Maryland for college basketball. Just like a banner across the screen. I was like, this is a weird time for a non-con at Maryland. And then I was like, oh, yeah, crap, that's right. Basketball's in the Big Ten too.
I mean, I remember hearing, we went to UCLA last year. I remember hearing the same thing from their fans. We hosted Washington last year. We heard the same thing. I get it. I mean, it's like you guys got rehomed. And it's weird for us. I love having the 4 Pac-12 schools in the Big Ten. It's fun new places for us to visit that we like to visit and vacation on. And it's a bunch of really good football brands. I am like, it's added, and I think with Oregon especially, you guys have put the rest of the conference on notice because Big Ten football was just so Ohio State and Michigan centric for years, decades. And then when it wasn't those two, it was like Wisconsin, who is the football equivalent of like a box of saltine crackers when it comes to excitement. And so, we bring Oregon in, and you've got these amazing uniforms and this color. You do green right, unlike the Michigan State. The way they do green, it's like just a depressing green that nobody really likes. You've got these amazing top level athletes at every position. It's a lot of fun, and that has, I think, forced the Big Ten in a direction where offenses have to modernize, coaching has to get better, people have got to take recruiting more seriously. So I know it feels like you're out of water a bit in the Big Ten, but we love having you here.
Well, what you just said is something that Dan Lanning said last year before the kickoff of the first season of the Big Ten. People said, how are you going to adjust to the Big Ten? And he said, no, they're going to have to adjust to us.
Yep. He was right.
It's the same with Cignetti. People are having to adjust to him also.
You can be disruptive in the Big Ten. I remember, I'm an IU guy through and through, but I grew up in West Lafayette, of all places, which is where Purdue's located. And I remember when I was in college, they hired Joe Tiller, who nobody had heard of, but he brought in this, pass first offense and, the kind of a pre-version of like basketball on grass kind of thing. And they went to the Rose Bowl in 2000 off of that. And what I love is when things happen that disrupt the Big Ten. Cignetti's done it by using the transfer portal like nobody else and figuring out how to scheme in such a way that it disrupts all these offenses in the Big Ten that don't know what they're doing. And for Oregon, your speed, your talent, and just your focus on making life difficult by pushing people outside their comfort zones, going for it on fourth down, just it's gotten a lot of people very, very uncomfortable in the conference, and I, for one, am here for it.
I just can't get over the Rose Bowl 4th and 1 and the resting bitch face on the sideline. All right, DeBoer, let's see this, because it ain't gonna work. You could try, and sure shit, it didn't work. And just the calm demeanor he had, like, you're an idiot. All right.
That's the thing I love about Cignetti is no matter what happens, unless he's like absolutely enraged, he just stands there and just like stares.
Yeah.
He just doesn't show any emotion for the most part. And it's like, I've said, if we didn't have Dan Lanning, I would want Cignetti. I mean, not just because he's a winner. I just like his personality.
No, his personality is amazing. He's just got this. It's fascinating to me. His whole thing, he's not very verbose. When he says something, it's something that's meant to be said. And that's how he operates in meetings. And you talk to the players and they're like, we love it because he just comes in and talks business. And it's that, like, we're there to do a job. He talks to us about the job and that's it. But then when he's on camera, he's ripping one-liners off like it's nobody's business. And he knows how to crack a joke. He knows how to use his face. I teach a little improv now and then, and I'm like, this guy's actually a tremendous improv comedian if he wanted to look for a career after football. And who would have thought that, from a guy who's a film junkie? It's really fascinating to me how he has grown into this spotlight. I talked to a couple people who knew him at JMU, and they were like, this isn't the guy he was at JMU. But a lot of it has been he knew he had to galvanize the IU fan base and wake them up. He had to get people excited about football. And it's hard to do that with just results. You got to have a personality. I mean, we had Bob Knight here for, almost 30 years. And that was the thing with Knight. It wasn't just how good the basketball was, but he was such a captivating figure that people couldn't help but pay attention to the basketball program. The same thing's happening with football.
Yeah. And now you're going to have a Cignetti statue next to the Bobby Knight statue.
You should already put one up. There should already be one there.
I will go melt the metal down right now and cast it. I'll go hammer that thing out myself before I leave tomorrow for Atlanta. I mean, I never thought we'd see this at IU in football. I really didn't. I've been watching. I've been a season ticket holder for 16 years. I've been coming to games since I was 5. This is not the Indiana football I know, but it is an amazing product to watch. It's such a fun team. Cignetti deserves multiple statues. Put one at either end of the stadium, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, and both of these teams are in the same way. are dealing with different style of coaches in the sense of personalities. Because before, why is his name escaping my head? Before Signetti,
Tom Allen.
Thank you.
Tom Allen.
The guy, broke his nose, like hitting headbutting a player, out of celebration, but like broke his nose. Very fiery on the sideline. Then we had Chip Kelly, who wasn't really fired up, didn't like talking to the media. Then even Mark Helfrich didn't really like talking to the media. Then you had Helfrich and then Mario. They just didn't like talking to the media at all. Then you get Dan. He doesn't really like talking to the media much. He's kind of like always like, oh, God, get me out of here. But then you see the videos where he's talking to the team. And he's all fired up. And you never saw that from the other coaches. So you have like the reverse of Allen. We have the reverse of our last like 4 coaches. So it's really nice to see. And I'm happy for Indiana. I love it. The same thing as you. Disrupt the Big Ten. Disrupt the common trend. History, who cares? Ohio State, go suck it. You lost to Miami in the first round.
The new blue bloods have arrived, Big Ten.
Don't even get me started talking about blue bloods. Don't even get me started talking about that.
Down to the basement you go, Ohio State and Michigan and all the rest of you Big Ten bums.
Well, this man...
You told Indiana and Oregon that we didn't belong, and look what we've done in the last couple of years.
No.
Destroyed.
Well, they said that, but remember, the Ducks did this. Sorry, Doc.
Quack, 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 quack.
I still want to know what they did with that thing, where they packed that thing up to.
It's amazing.
It's a big ass duck.
Shows up on the river in Indy.
Good marketing.
Well, I'm a big fan of the duck. The one thing the duck did that did get IU fans upset was laying on the rock here, which was that kind of went a little overboard, but whatever. It's
is that when he was trying to break into every Big Ten stadium on like a photo shoot?
Yes.
That's what that was.
Yes. Yeah, it was last year.
Yep.
Well, I know you've got things to do, and you've got obviously a bunch of travel in front of you. But let's get into this because it is the rematch, which I know people cringe when you say it's hard to beat a team twice. But these are both really good teams.
I mean, both it was a game. I was at the first game. It was a game that was, it could have gone either way in terms of, there was a turnover on both sides that was really decisive. Indiana started to establish themselves in the second half, which surprised me. I think Oregon has a lot of room to play better. And so, look, it is demonstrably difficult in championship situations to beat a team that you've already beaten once. And as much as Indiana had an advantage with their offensive line play and got after Dante Moore on the other side, I don't expect Dante Moore to play that badly again, because I don't think Indiana's got quite the same pass rush that they had in the first game, because they're missing a couple of key players there.
Daly is out.
And people forget Kellen Wyatt, who played a big role in that game, is also out. So that's a couple of guys that were big parts of that game that just they're not there anymore for Indiana. But they love putting pressure on quarterbacks. They love bringing in things that are unexpected. And I think ultimately what will dictate this game is, can Oregon get their running game going, and can they stop Indiana's offense from moving the ball down the field consistently? If Oregon starts ripping off big runs and gets some explosive plays, I think they've got as good of a chance as any, and they are going to be motivated. They're going to be out for revenge. That's a powerful motivator, and especially with a guy like Dan Lanning, who, half the time you see him in the locker room, it's like you're expecting him to just like bite into a raw steak or something like that. It's there's a lot there. You can get your team really fired up for a game like that, and I think Indiana's got to be cautious.
I'm waiting for the if we win, I want to see the Ducks versus them, because that locker room speech will probably be something otherworldly. It will top the they're playing for clicks, we're playing for wins. It'd be worse. I agree with you though. For Oregon side, we talked about last night. The O-line's got to decipher the blitz pickup and the simulated pressures better. And our corners got to stop giving up those 8 to 10 yard hitch routes. They were doing that all game, giving them up to Indiana. It was driving me insane.
Yeah, well, I think Finney's a little better equipped to handle that than he was then. So based on that game experience, that was probably one of his worst games defensively of the year. Just because he gave up so much on the corners and the out of bounds plays and such. Whereas now he's started to figure out how to jump those routes a little better, as we saw in like the Texas Tech game where he jumped the corner route and took it all the way back. So the issue is going to be the issue for Oregon now is going to be depth, because we do not have a lot of depth at the running back, and we don't have a lot of depth at the corner and safety.
Now I did hear today Jaden Lamar is staying at running back. He is staying, but then he's leaving.
Lamar, when did that come out?
That came out today. I saw he's going to stay through the game. Then he will enter the transfer portal. But he's just told them he will enter. That's what I heard. I don't know. Indiana's dealing with some of the same stuff. Is Indiana losing a lot of key players or anything, or backups even, like depth-wise, to the transfer portal?
Actually, no.
Well, I don't like this conversation anymore.
They lost a couple of guys on the defensive side that haven't really played, and they lost a wide receiver to the portal that hadn't played all season. And so it's funny you mentioned the coverage stuff. I mean, Elijah Surratt had an amazing game in that first game, but a lot of it was because Oregon played like 70% press coverage in that game, which they may not be tempted to do because of the lack of depth, which might end up helping them. I think if they back off and play a bit more zone and try to keep things in front of them, maybe they don't get abused as much. The thing I'd keep an eye on the defensive front is Charlie Becker, who has emerged as America's didn't really play in the Oregon game. There was one target down the field for him. That was it in that game, and he's become a key part of Indiana's offense. He's the vertical threat they didn't have. So I am interested to see what happens there.
Yeah, he's came alive in the second half of the season.
Yeah, you're 100% correct on that. We were talking last night. We're like, do they press the outside and do like a mixed zone in the middle to stop him from running free? Because you don't want to. We can't afford to do man on man, and I don't think we can afford to blitz. So you've got to be creative, and that's up to Tosh Lupoi. Whereas again, Oregon is screwed in the sense of both coordinators are taking new head coaching jobs and doing their deal over there as they're supposed to. Yeah. But how much does that take away from this game? But so far, they seem to be locked in for the most part. So,
I mean, it should have an impact, but I'm not expecting it to. I think both those guys are awesome, and I think it's helpful that Indiana and Oregon have played already.
Yeah,
they. So I think that some of the issues that you're running into don't necessarily. It's not like you're preparing for a brand new opponent. And, when they had to prepare for Texas Tech, they had extra time to prepare for them, relatively speaking. Because, so it's not as big of an impact as I think, but it certainly isn't ideal.
Exactly. And like, I think Becker really came on from the Penn State game on. I think that was his breakout game, right? Wasn't it, that Penn State game?
Isn't he the one that caught the touchdown pass?
Yes.
No, not in Penn State. It was Omar Cooper, but it was him. It was him that caught the pass that essentially sealed the Big Ten championship game.
Oh, okay. I'm probably mixing the two. Yeah. There's been too many football games this year. You're trying to watch every conference and every game.
I know it's a lot to keep straight. It's kind of wild. So,
is there a concern for Indiana, at least that you know of having to rematch with a team? Because now both teams played in their games. Oregon had the JMU game. We as Oregon fans weren't super concerned about the 30 points to JMU in the second half. Like that didn't For us, we weren't concerned.
Right.
But then seeing them shut out Texas Tech, is there a concern of that? But then you just did that to Alabama, which, Alabama was kind of questionable anyways. I mean, they just got blown out in the SEC title game.
Right.
So,
look, the thing is it concerning to play another team that already knows your personnel and your tendencies? Sure, it should be. But it's also concerning for Oregon to play Indiana again. And that's what I keep reminding myself. And so I don't think that let's put it this way. If the Oregon-Indiana game had happened in Bloomington, I think there's a natural concern where you're leaving your home environment where you won by 10. Indiana won in Autzen, and now it's in a neutral site that's going to be pretty heavily IU just because there's so many IU fans that live in Atlanta and a lot of people like me driving in from, within a day. So the big concern I have is that Oregon will go more and more aggressive because they're going to feel like they need to flip the emotional script of the game early and try to get the crowd out of it, try to get an early lead. And I think if they absolutely have the horses to hit a couple of big explosive plays, score a couple of touchdowns. Indiana hasn't had a team go just nuts aggressive on them offensively all season. I could see Oregon doing that early. And I mean, Indiana's only allowed 2 touchdowns in a game, I think, once all season. They allowed 3 against Penn State. They've been very good at stopping teams from scoring a lot of touchdowns on them. That's where I get concerned is like, does Oregon just throw the kitchen sink at Indiana in the first quarter? What happens with that?
Good point. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something to be concerned about. I mean, the Ducks went for 8 times on 4th down against Texas Tech. And in a way, that was also just to be like, we don't believe in their offense, so screw it. We're going to go for it. Yeah. And obviously, they didn't score a point. So,
whereas here, against Indiana, if you go for it on 4th and 3 from their 40 or 41, and you don't make it, or 4th and 1 from midfield and you don't make it, you're giving a high-powered offense, great field position, and that could turn the complete momentum of a game.
Well, but I get what the doc is saying here too. Is guess what? And just like what Duck Green here is saying, nothing to lose. Look, there's one more game, national title. This is the game you throw everything, all considerations almost out the window because you want to win the game in some sense, whether it's ugly or whatever. You got to do it. So, yeah, this might be Dan Lanny's wildest calls type of play calling game. I mean, we don't know.
I'm expecting it. We'll see. And Adam in the chat's talking about, no, this needs to be a steady game. Oregon needs to change things as they go along during the game. That may be true. I just, from my perspective, that's Oregon. Can they beat Indiana straight up if they just play significantly better than they played in the first game? Maybe. But that I'm curious what the Oregon coaching staff decides to do with that.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So
I'm the same way. Like, defensively, do you get aggressive or do you just, like Texas Tech, only really bring 4 and play good coverage? Or do you try to blitz? The first game, they tried to blitz, I think, a bunch, and it did not work. Mendoza's shifty. He is a shifty son of a bitch back there.
When Alabama blitzed a ton, and Mendoza was 8 for 8 on blitzes.
Yeah.
So
he's good. He's good. He's really good. Even at Cal, like I argued with Spaz last year, he's like, he wasn't that great. He got sacked this many times. And then we looked at his yardage. I'm like, no, he was good. It was just a crap system.
Real bad.
Now he's in a good system that works for him, and he is shifty. He's got confidence. He has grown as a quarterback.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Yeah, if you run any blitz packages, you better get home.
Yeah.
Because if not, you're going to get torched.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's what we saw this last time.
Mendoza's that good at, and he knows how to escape the pocket as well.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun game. Again, both teams are playing for the opportunity to go advance to the final game to win their first national title. That That's why I think this game you could see everyone just go wild on both sides of the field because to get the opportunity, that's why I can't stand it. I would rather lose this game than watch my team lose another national title. I don't know if my head could take it.
Well, and I got to wrap up after this, guys, but I can say that, from the Indiana front, like we've never been this far before. This is completely uncharted territory. But the vibe around the fans and the team, it's like no one wants this thing to be over. And people have just gotten so excited by this team in this season. And I think both of these programs have a lot on the line with this. It's really going to be interesting to see how it plays out in Atlanta.
Absolutely. And do you want to really quickly give a score prediction? As Spaz is laughing at one of our favorite commenters. Yeah, favorite commenters.
No, I'll give you the same prediction I gave on the podcast I did earlier. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be low scoring, relatively speaking. Both these defenses are awesome. I'm going to say Indiana 24, Oregon 20.
Okay.
That's a good theory.
That's pretty close to me.
Score, yeah.
Even as a Duck fan, as much as I never pick against the Ducks ever, even last night, I said 2017 Indiana.
Wow. Well, when you're picking Indiana, that's what makes me nervous. Like when the national people start picking Indiana, I'm like, those people don't know what they're talking about. So
that's what everyone said in the chat last night. They were like, "Well, that means we're going to win." I was like, I'm sorry,
immediately, please. So
I need to see it.
Yeah.
I mean, just I need to see it.
I hear you.
Well, hey, thanks for coming on, Doc. We appreciate it, and good luck on Friday, man. May the best team have a road to their first national title.
I appreciate it, and good luck to you guys as well. And we'll see what happens on Friday. Looking forward to the game.
Absolutely. Appreciate all your time and good road trip tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Safe drive.
Enjoy the game.
Have a good one.
You too, bud.
Absolutely. Thanks the Doc there from Crimson Cast and Back Home Network on YouTube. Both links are in the description of the video, by the way, so you can go follow them either on X or here on YouTube. Appreciate the time there.
I don't even know who this person is.
I just like it's like a delectable internal massage. That is one way of putting it. That is one way of putting it. Jesus.
Shit. Yeah. Oh shit.
Adam, do you want me to give you a doctor to explain that to you? Or just a big gay man in Jersey?
I mean, this
fucking hell.
Both of these, I don't know who this is, but they keep coming in every so often. They just randomly pop in.
Trying to sell inventive sex toys. We haven't even on that long.
I don't know if they're joking or if they're just if it's a fan just being funny or if they're real. I just don't know.
I have no idea. See, if you're on streaming live for like 2-3 hours, you'll get bots in, but they just show randomly start dropping like, you got to try my new dildo.
It's breathing from your diaphragm, Adam. That's what an internal massage is.
No, it's not. It's a dick up your ass. Come on, just be honest with him. Let's be honest with him. I mean, goddamn.
There goes our monetization again.
What? We're explaining what it means medically. That's what it means. Oh, good job, Adam. Jesus, you are a bright one.
Yeah.
Oh, God. This is why we waited till he left before we talked about it, though. This is why Ryan said, "Buckle up."
Yeah.
Now it's explained to everyone.
Yeah, now you all know why Ryan said, "Buckle up, fellas," because you never know
He's had
what's
a
going to
colonoscopy.
happen on this channel.
Adam's had a colonoscopy more than once. That's for sure. Spaz, it is Wednesday night. We have 48 hours basically.
Yeah.
For the game. Fucking hell.
Yep.
Well, Adam, you got bad captors. People that abducted you to give you a colonoscopy should have at least fed you a little bit.
Oh shit.
No wonder Adam's suppressing memories.
Oh yeah.
What's going on, Jackson?
I've had two, Adam. The second one wasn't as bad as the first one. It was a little easier.
Where have we gone? We went from the Peach Bowl to men fingering you. What is going on here? And jail rape. Now that might have been our demonetization.
Yep, YouTube just kicked us out.
That might have been the final straw. Fucking hell. Yeah, this game is just a mindfuck for me. I just cannot. I can't get my head around it in the sense of like just how it's gonna play out.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Again, like the doc was saying, these teams have played each other. Who adjusts to what and how? That's the most intriguing and scary thing for me.
Are we gonna do a pregame or just the post?
What time is the game again? 6:30 Central?
Yep.
Let me check something real quick. 6:30 Central on the 9th. Yeah, we could do a pregame. I'm off at 3 p.m. Central. So we could do a pregame.
So let's do oh shit, wait, I got it would have to be 3:00
Pacific?
Yeah.
That's fine. That'd be 5 here.
Potentially. I have a doctor's appointment at 1:30, so hopefully I'll be.
He's got to get fingered by sausage fans.
Now I'm getting my eyeball screwed in the rest of the way.
Nice.
So it's my checkup.
Yeah, we can set something up, see how it all goes, and then we'll figure it out before the game. Yeah, time wise, it should be okay. Obviously, we'll do the post game. So
yeah,
win or lose, unless I rage
if
quit.
we're not, unless we're rage quitted drunk by then.
Yeah, that'll have to be the next day after I get off work.
Yep.
It'll be a Rose Bowl all over last year.
All right. Well, that wraps up all of our preview for the week.
Yeah.
This exciting semifinal game. I feel like we've been doing football for 5 years this year.
We have. This is number 38, and that's not counting all the other shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, hey, hopefully we got a few more subscribers. And it wasn't a lot of people in here, so
Yeah.
maybe we'll get more afterwards.
Exactly. And that's why, as always, please make sure on the way out, quickly hit that like button if you haven't. And consider subscribing if you haven't.
Oh, for the Miami game? 27-17 Ole Miss.
Ooh. I haven't even thought about tomorrow's game that much. Oh, I don't know. Ole Miss's defense is not that great. I mean, they're good, but they're not great. I'm gonna go like a 34-30 Ole Miss.
Yeah, Adam went 34-31.
Okay, yeah.
We're trying to get to 100, Jackson. Easy, son.
I'm about to say the goal was 100. Well, actually, it wasn't even 100 before the first year, but we were almost there. And I was like, damn, that'd be pretty good. So,
yeah.
All right, 27-24. All right, that's fair. I mean, I can see that game going either way, honestly, but I think Ole Miss offensively is better. But shit, who knows? I do want to see Oregon Miami in the title game. That would be a masterpiece.
Yeah, that's the dream.
Absolute masterpiece. As long as we win the title. Can you imagine Miami fans getting to rant and rave about winning a title?
Getting to play in their home stadium.
Yeah, right. Fucking hell. While the other team travels across the country for the third time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
All right, everyone. Well, we'll see you guys maybe pregame, but definitely postgame of the Peach Bowl. And anything special, Spaz?
No.
Oh, but it is that time of year. And no better when the starting quarterback signs a new contract to stay with the team and then 2 days later leaves.
Well, they're saying that he can't leave.
I know. Well, I know. Now the lawsuits ensue. But it's always a good time. So, fuck Washington.
Turn it
Fucking Huskies.